Hello there! Today we're taking a look at 3 Black Series figures. The first one, he's not in the box right now, Bossk Bounty Hunter. This is a reissue archive edition, so it comes in this packaging, which is going in the recycle bin, whatever. And actually most of Black Series figures boxes are going to go in the recycle bin for me. And then secondly, this Purge Stormtrooper, pretty awesome, from the Jedi Fallen Order video game. No, I haven't picked up Cal Kestos or the second sister Inquisitor yet because, well, they're hard to get, but I do plan on getting it eventually. But as of right now, we're going to take a look at this trooper first because I saw it, I was just like, yeah, I'll just get it now before it's sold out. And then finally we have our main man here, Obi Wan Kenobi, in his Clone Wars outfit. So this is pretty awesome. I mean, it's essentially the same figure as the troopers, just with slightly alterations, but still it's kind of cool. So before we see how good these figures are compared to other Black Series figures or other figure lines in general, or just for its price point, but before we move on, please click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and click the thumbs up button if you like this video later, and leave a comment below how you feel about these Black Series figures as of right now. And of course, don't forget you can support this channel by sharing this video with other people, as well as heading over to Patreon or watching these videos with adblock turned off. I would appreciate that a lot. Without further ado, start with Bossk today. In terms of centimeters, he is about 16 centimeters tall, pretty tall. So yes, I did take a quick look online comparing him to Rebel pilots and whatever, and while there are similarities with the suit, I do believe that his suit in the movie was just a repurposed Rebel pilot suit, the figure itself has a lot of different areas in the mold, so it probably started off as the same mold, but they have altered it so much that it's not the same piece. Now Bossk here was a part of some of the older releases that they've reissued in, I guess, the retro or classic line, and I don't know how much they've changed him to update him a little bit. From the photos I've seen online, it doesn't look too different, but what we have here in the re-release looks pretty good. The brown coloring on his skin and the wash they've applied to it looks pretty awesome. The overall suit is pretty good. Some of the older stuff in Black Series that I don't like is the very obvious joint cut on the hips there and these big screw holes, but overall he's out of all the older Black Series stuff, he looks pretty good. In terms of the uniform coloring, the yellow is pretty nice. It is a little bit plasticky color, but it kind of looks like that in the movies as well, and they did apply a bit of a wash to it. I like the little details on the side there, as well as here. And these tubes on them are very soft plastic. I'm not too worried about breaking them, that's great. And the overall look of him is pretty good, but I'm a little bit confused with his hands though. Like, why is that one the gun holding hand? Is he left-handed? Like, what's going on there? But anyway, he comes with a single accessory, which is just a black gun. There's no paint on it whatsoever. It comes with a soft plastic strap there that he can go on the other way. Yes, he can. So yeah, he can just, but he can't actually grab his gun because his elbows don't even go to, I guess this is like 35 to 40 degrees. It's not even like a corner. So that's where the defects of older Black Series that I dislike come in. So that's a little bit annoying. But yeah, let's start with the head here. He can look up a little bit. It's so tight. Look down. Left and right rotate, and you can open his mouth, and the inside paint job's actually pretty good, but of course if he's looking down he can't really open his mouth. But then again, I guess if it's actually Bossk in real life, if he looks down his clothes will get in the way. I you know, if he was real, I suppose. Shoulders go up, not all the way, rotating joint there, single elbow joint plus rotating, and hands are on a peg and swivel, and torso, the rotating joint there. I don't think there's a ball joint because he can't really look up and down. His articulation is very limited, but that's probably also because they want to protect these tubes. And that's a little bit annoying. Leg goes up, leg goes back, so these are pretty good. Leg sideways, rotating joint there, full rotating joint there here actually, because it doesn't get in the way of you know, these tubes. And of course, one of the other things with the below the Black Series is if you do more extreme poses, it does cut up the figure. I'm not a fan of that. Double knee joint, thank God, but doesn't go all the way, and legs up, back, and a little bit rotating and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty good. So I guess because he's right-handed, how is he going to hold this gun? Just plug that in. Oh, there we go. And then I guess he just holds like that. I don't know if I do an actual gun pose. Yep, he can, I guess. But he's just very restricted. So at least this figure looks great, which is why I picked it up. But otherwise, I would, because he has really limited articulation that can get annoying fast for me personally. Because as much as I like figures to look good, I do want to pose them for stuff. So yeah. Next up is the Purge Stormtrooper. So yeah, the body for the most part is just a regular Stormtrooper, but he does have this helmet which reminds me of a clone trooper. He has this piece, which is probably a reused piece as well. So yeah, but overall I really like Jedi Fallen Order. I do want to pick up, you know, Jedi and Second Sister, but they're always sold out. There's a listing on like an auction site in Hong Kong, but it's a little bit on the expensive side. It's okay, I might still pick it up, but anyway. So, yeah, very shiny plastic. I think is it hard plastic? Yeah, I think it might be hard plastic. Armor as well, and then you get to the soft plastic here. It sounds a bit different. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. The Empire logo there, this padding is very nice. I almost want to just take the head off this and this cloak piece and then customize one of the Bandai model kits to make it look like this. Almost, because the Bandai model kit will have a bit more articulation and stuff. But he does have double elbow joints, that's cool. And yeah, the overall, so the black gloss is really nice on the top torso, and the red shine is really good. Oh, I like these tiny little details there as well. The belt here is kind of cool, but what I don't like about this, got these two red wires there that come out, they're like straps and stuff. When I first got it out, they were like tucked in behind these knee guards, upper leg armor. But you see how short they're. As soon as I move, they pop out, and once after that, just stay outside. So that's distracting and annoying, and I wouldn't mind it if they weren't there, because just no. I mean, either make them longer and go all the way inside, or just don't bother. I mean, there is a red line on this cape piece, which seems to be surviving okay. The paint job on this isn't great, and really wish this had like wire in it actually. So that's something I could add myself. But yeah, this cape isn't fraying per se, but it doesn't feel that secure. It doesn't feel like it would last. And then down here, while the top of the figure looks great, down here, the plastic here, there's a lot of molding lines all over the place, and it's obvious that they didn't paint this, whereas they added paint on this side. So there's a bit of a distraction here when you see that these two bits of plastic don't look the same. So that's annoying. So I might want to research like what types of paints they use for these figures so that it would actually stick and stay on there. After that, the rest of the figure is just sort of like a black finish that does look decent. A little bit of boot details there, that's nice. Let me just stand him in a action pose while I look at the weapons. You know, whatever that will do. So he has this giant rifle there. We've seen this with other Stormtrooper toys. Whatever, it's painted quite nice metallic black finish, some silver tips there, soft-ish plastic, but will snap if you bend it too much. And we have a general E11, or is it not an E11 blaster? I don't know, there's a few of these blasters. It doesn't have a scope on it, so it's not E11. It's E something blaster, but what I really would have liked this Purge Trooper to come with is one of the staffs that one of the Magna Guards had with General Grievous, because in the game some of them do have those staffs that fight around. I would much rather have one of those, like a nice silver like stick or black stick with some like transparent pink or purple bits on the end, because we have plenty of Stormtrooper releases that come with these guns. These are boring. I want that staff. Come on, give us that staff. I guess if they do ever release a Magna Guard, then we can take that from them. And finally today we have the Clone Wars Obi Wan Kenobi. And this Obi Wan is my favorite Star Wars character pretty much. And his Clone Wars look is also one of my favorite looks for him, so I just had to pick him up. Plus the head actually here doesn't look too bad in terms of looking like Ewan McGregor, so that's great. I'm just going to bring in my SH Figuarts episode 3 Ewan there. You can see he's a little bit taller, a little bit more hair. This one's a bit more like shiny and combed in. And if we just compare the faces, I mean, yes, this looks way more like Ewan McGregor. This one looks like him. Like I look at him and I think, okay, that looks like Obi-Wan, but you know, it's not quite there. It's like a slightly made up version of Obi Wan Kenobi. So I'm like a wax figure version, if that makes sense. This head, since they're not actually that much difference in terms of size, this head might fit on this figure quite well, you know, as long as the pegs sort of fit, I guess. In terms of accessories, he comes with a stand. This is Styles Black Series, has a peg hole there, reminds me of like capsule toy releases. Why him? Like, I'm not complaining that he comes with a stand. I'm just curious, like, who else comes with a stand? Like, just him? Why do other Black Series figures don't get a stand? Anyway, and of course I'm going to have to compare the lightsabers with the Figuarts one because there's quite a big difference there. So we have the Figuarts one on the left. You can see that it's actually painted properly, chrome finish and all that, and a lot more details. The overall paint quality on this one is a bit sloppy, and it's made out of a softish plastic, while this hard plastic on here. And this Figuarts also comes with an extra lightsaber with the peg to plug into the belt, whereas this one you only get one with the peg. And yeah, of course you can unpeg that when he's not ignited it. This one is instead opens like that, so it allows you to plug it into the hand much easier without breaking it. And the blade is thicker on the Figuarts, it's also shinier. This one's a duller color, but this one's soft plastic. But the blade on this one, because it is a thicker plastic, it doesn't feel fragile at all, even though it's a hard plastic. So overall, the lightsaber wins in every way. In fact, all lightsabers win when it comes to Black Series versus SH Figuarts. There's just no competition. It's just, this is not the right plastic for a chrome finish, which would look much nicer. But I get it, they don't want these to break. That's fine, I'm accepting it, but if I ever look at these, I'm like, this doesn't look good. So if I want this Obi-Wan to look good, I will be posing him with the SH Figuarts lightsaber. Anywho, so over to the figure itself. So the head looks pretty awesome, and the armor itself, I mean, obviously for the most part it's going to be reused stuff from other clone troopers and stuff. In fact, just the Purge Trooper here, you look, see, the legs are the same, they're the exact same. The hip there is the same, the belt there is the same. In fact, the entire torso is the exact same figure. Are the hands the same? Yep, that hand's the same. This one is, yep, the hands are the same. So only the head is different, and they only added this cloak and maybe added 2 holes for this piece to peg in. Otherwise, it is the exact same bloody figure. So hooray for reuse stuff. Anyway, the cloak here, this piece of fabric, it drops very well. It doesn't like go all in weird places and stuff, so that's great. This piece, however, is a little bit on the light side, the smaller area, so that flays out a little bit, so it does look a little bit weird, but not too bothered. Yeah, that's about it really. It's just a nice looking figure, but because he is a special edition thing or whatever, he's going to cost a little bit more, so that's going to be very annoying. But I just had him. I like Obi Wan. And my last real big complaint with this is this area here. This feels like it's going to break, just because of how thin it is, and when you're posing the figure, more often than not, you're going to be stretching this a little bit, and you could like move this up before like posing the figure. That's something you could do, but it's something to be mindful about. So both this figure and this figure here, they have pretty much the exact same articulation. So head down, head, well, really up, rotation there, but no, actually no, yeah, he does have sideways, a little bit of sideways pose. Obviously it's going to be a bit more limited on this trooper because of how like big the helmet is, but no, you can still do quite a lot, so that's pretty awesome. Arms go, I won't say arms go up, but they're not going. Come on, you're going? You're gonna go? No? Is there no up joint here? That can't be right. Yeah, there is a joint there. Why is it not going up? It's really stiff, but it sort of goes up. Rotating joint up, rotating joint here, double elbow joint. It's double joint, but it's not. See, it's not going because of this elbow pad there. Torso goes quite a little bit far back. Sideways, sideways. The leg goes up. I like these arms, how they cover that ugly joint. Once again, I really hate those. But yeah. Obi-Wan can sit down. Hooray! Double knee joint. Rider kick pose. Up, down. Rotating joint. No, sideways as well. That's great. That's great. These are great posing figures. So overall, the Obi Wan figure and the Purge Trooper, pretty much the same figure, different colors, whatever. But as for Obi Wan, he looks great, he poses quite nicely, although shoulders are a little bit limited. I'm still afraid with the fabric stuff. I wish it was a more sturdier material or done in a different way, like it was made out of 2 different pieces. I don't know. Don't like the lightsaber, it just doesn't look good. But for what I paid for, he's a little bit on the expensive side, so only get this if you really like Obi Wan in the Clone War gear. It's an okay figure. I don't regret buying it, but it is a little bit on the expensive side. I'm kind of like, come on, I wish it was a bit cheaper. The Purge Trooper, great. Again, I do wish this was a little bit cheaper because it is a Trooper figure and it is mostly the same mold from previous Clone Troopers and all that. And it doesn't come with that electro staff that I really would have wanted to come with this, but it's still a very cool looking figure. For the most part, it looks nice, it will look good on the shelf, and it poses okay for a Trooper class. And once again, I don't regret picking this figure up. It is a decent figure for the Black Series. Finally, Bossk does leave a little bit to decide for. I know he's one of the older releases, he's a reissue, but I do really wish Hasbro can sort of tweak the older figures just a little bit, not just on the paint job side, actually tweak the molds, because as of right now his posability is terrible. Not the worst compared to some of the other older Black Series figures, but it is still a problem and it can get annoying. If your collector just has it in the box or on the shelf, that's absolutely fine. If gets the job done, it looks nice. But for people like me who like to pose the figures around, yeah, look, if Hasbro's gonna reissue really old figures at the lower quality, they really shouldn't charge us the full Black Series price of the new figures. It should be discounted from the get-go. As always, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon, and may the Force be with you.